Hey everyone, this episode of Weekly Weird News is sponsored by Expressvpn and DoorDash. And we are still alive, even after the Epstein Area 51 video.
Don't jinx it.
Okay.
Anyways, you might be watching this on your phone, or on your computer, or even on your TV. But it's very unlikely that any one of you is watching this episode on a cathode ray tube television, or CRT. And there's a decent chance that you're young enough that CRT screens are just some mythical old technology, right alongside rotary phones and cassette tapes.
No, they're the TVs that traditional Smash Brothers players bring to meetups.
Okay, that is true.
Okay. Us children, Elliot, are well aware of the CRT TV.
Yeah, well, yeah, CRT TVs are, in general, except for Smash players, slowly fading away in our collective memory. But thankfully, there's someone out there doing his damnedest to make sure we never forget our roots.
This person's methods are a bit odd, though. Last Sunday, in the affluent suburbs of Glen Allen, Virginia, 20 minutes north of Richmond, residents of one neighborhood awoke to find CRT televisions on their doorsteps. It was 52 TVs, one per house, all with the screen facing toward the door. So, okay, yeah, a bit weird, but things got a lot weirder when residents with security cameras checked their footage to find that those television sets had been delivered by a man in dark clothes with his own TV on top of his head.
Maybe it is his head.
And he even took time to wave at the cameras capturing him. He was aware. He wanted to be seen.
Us.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, TVs on every doorstep, a bit ominous. TVs on every doorstep delivered by a guy who looks like a horror movie villain, terrifying. And there's, of course, no indication as to why any of this is happening. Loading and unloading what had to be a truckload of old TVs, which are heavy, one by one, onto people's doorsteps, all while wearing a TV on your head that's probably a custom job and difficult to see out of, seems like a lot of work, and especially in the dead of night when you could be getting a good night's rest. So why?
Well, there don't appear to be any answers at this point, but the police, they're on the case. They have top men investigating this crime.
We'll get to it right after we figure out who bit this sandwich.
Their investigation so far has been limited to simply showing up with a truck and hauling all the TVs away, but otherwise there don't appear to be any leads, as they would say.
Leads?
And they don't appear to be taking it very seriously, with one cop telling the press, "We determined there was no credible threat and that this was strictly an inconvenience." It's some elaborate street art, if you will, possibly.
It is art.
They also say they're not sure what, if any, charges could even apply here. Maybe unlawful dumping, I guess technically trespassing, if the homeowners wanted to press charges. Oh, by the way, they also don't plan to investigate any further, but they do urge residents to report any additional activity of this sort. There could be copycat TV people on the loose.
This could be the beginning of a terrifying trend.
Police did say that in addition to the one guy in publicly released security footage, there was actually a second TV head dude in a white jumpsuit also involved. It's like spy versus spy, except with TVs.
We're not dealing with a lone wolf.
So it was at least a two-man or woman job.
I mean, pretty sure it was men. But whatever, we don't know. We don't know. Another thing about this that's weird is that almost exactly 1 year ago, the same thing happened just blocks away from where it happened this time. The last time there wasn't any security footage. We've come so far. And there were only around 20 old TVs left on doorsteps.
This is the reason they all got their Ring doorbells.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Hold on, I've got to catch this person.
Yeah, but this would appear at first glance to be the work of the same people. Or it could be copycats. We just don't know. But in last year's case, and this time around as well, the general response from the victims has been pretty level-headed, all things considered. I mean, it's weird and unsettling, but it's also just a damn TV. As one resident told local news this week, "I think it was awesome, lighthearted, and so great to have a fun story like this, even though there are so many tragedies occurring. I feel lucky I got a TV."
Hey, that person lives on the bright side of life.
Yeah.
And good for them.
Hey, something interesting happened to me. Nothing bad happened.
Got a TV for my kid to play some Smash
just
on.
a random TV.
Yeah. We're not sure everyone necessarily felt lucky about all of this, but it is kind of funny. It falls directly into the cool crime category.
Yeah, I think it's
so.
It's
good
crime.
to see one of those again. It's getting a perfectly good CRT TV dropped on your doorstep. It would have felt like Christmas 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of an inconvenience unless you are a enthusiast. Even if you wanted to keep it, you'd need a drawer full of adapters just to get it to do anything. Unless, of course, yeah, you're a retro gamer and you play a lot of Smash Brothers. Now, if you are, we got to imagine that you saw this news and cursed the fact that creepy TV man didn't deliver anything to your doorstep and instead chose these ingrates who could afford the TVs if they really wanted to.
Yeah, they don't manufacture CRTs anymore. They are a dwindling, finite resource. There's not enough to go around. 50 years from now, will there be a single CRT TV around for anyone to play retro video games on? We don't know.
Yeah. It's just like how the Tooth Fairy skips all the poor kids.
Yeah. What
So
a
weird.
bitch.
Yeah.
What a bougie
What a
bitch.
jerk.
But back to the questions of who did this and why. Now, there are theories, and we have a few ourselves.
Being a conspiracy theory channel now.
Yeah, we're a conspiracy channel now, and we're leading into that.
Yeah.
Apparently, YouTube loves conspiracy channels. They're not striking them down left and right.
It's so weird that Susan struck down on conspiracy theory channels just months before Epstein was arrested. We're still alive, right?
Susan, have you ever been to Palm Beach, Florida?
We need to stop. It's time to stop.
Susan, what do you think about the U.S.
Stop.
Virgin Islands?
Stop it. They're not virgins anymore. Stop.
You stop. Now, back to the TV man, who is not, as far as we know, a pedophile.
Yes.
And is not, as far as we know, involved in any cover-up murder or any sort of thing like that. He leaves TVs on people's doorsteps, and that's it.
Yes.
So the first and most obvious theory here is that this is like a college prank, perhaps by a fraternity. The Richmond area is home to several universities with lots of fraternities, so this makes a lot of sense at first glance. But I actually looked painstakingly at the academic schedules for all of the major universities in the area, and the fall 2019 semester had not begun at a single one of them by last weekend when this incident occurred. So that theory does not hold up especially well, though it is entirely possible that it was some sort of end of summer prank by the students who stayed in town over the summer or showed up extra early for the new school year.
Yeah, you stay in town and you're completely bored. You're just working down at the Applebee's. It's not busy because everyone's out of town.
Yeah.
You need something to do.
I mean, my summers, once I actually started, living year-round in my college places, yeah, we got up to a lot of dumb shit in the summertime.
The only thing that I can cut holes into this theory with is the fact that when it's college students, there's no way they're going to keep this a secret. Everyone's going to be talking about
I don't know.
this.
Fraternities are, even with millennials in them, and zennials, surprisingly good at keeping their mouths shut. It's the one thing I'll actually give credit to fraternities about. They keep their secrets.
Well, relating to both terrible and fun pranks.
I'm not casting a value judgment on the secrets they keep. I'm just saying their ability to keep secrets is commendable, especially in this day and age.
They keep a lot of dark secrets.
This is true.
Anyways, another possible explanation is that CRT televisions are actually kind of a pain in the ass to get rid of, and it's not just that they're bulky and heavy, they're actually considered toxic waste by the EPA because of all the lead in them. You often have to pay for their disposal, which seems counterintuitive to how recycling works, but CRTs, they don't really contain anything a recycling center would consider valuable. So they got no real incentive to take your big, heavy, toxic waste box off your hands without being paid to do so. Knowing all of that, it's possible that the TV head people have an absurd amount of CRTs on their hands, and they can't or don't want to pay to dispose of them. Maybe they work for a recycling company that took on more work than they could handle. Maybe they inherited some hoarder relative's property. Whatever the case, owning dozens of CRTs and wanting to get rid of them for free, it's a fun way to get rid of them. It's a rock-solid motive for the reason why.
Yeah.
And, it just makes sense.
Yeah, they saved some money on recycling fees.
I think it's Banksy.
They caused it. I found out who Banksy is the other day.
Yeah.
I was at the veterinarian.
He's the drummer for that band.
And the lady at the front desk of the veterinarian's office was like, Banksy? And out Banksy came.
A dog.
Banksy is a small chihuahua.
The perfect disguise.
Case closed.
Yokiro street art.
It's a great dog name, though. Now, our third and final theory, though, is that this was an inside job. When you look at an inexplicable crime like this, the question you must ask is, who stands to benefit the most? And more than avoiding recycling fees or being a campus legend, the person who stands to gain the most out of this is a resident of the neighborhood who also happens to be a moderately successful young YouTube vlogger. His name is Zach Levet. He's around 19 years old. And while he usually posts vlogs about cross-country running, which he's very good and successful at. His latest vlog is about how the homes in his family's neighborhood all got TVs left at their doorsteps.
I think you're onto something.
Now, sure, it could just be happenstance that such an event would happen in such close proximity to a YouTuber.
It's always the YouTubers.
At this point, there might be enough vloggers out there that, anytime anything happens, there's one nearby. Do we know how many vloggers are around?
No, we don't, but...
You throw a dart at a map, it's going to land on a vlogger. This might just be a coincidence. But it is suspicious.
I am pinning my claims to this theory. This is the one that is going to stick. So, mark our words.
Yeah, Zach.
There are other factors adding to our suspicion of young Zach Levet. For one thing, the disclaimer at the beginning of his video all about this, it reads, "Everything that you see in this video is as I experienced it. I did not perform these acts, nor did I have anything to do with them. This video is for entertainment purposes, but centered around true events that occurred on August 11th, 2019. So, right off the bat, feels a little too defensive. Yeah, he does protest a bit too much.
Yeah.
The video then consists of Zach and his friends driving around the neighborhood documenting what happens and talking to neighbors, and it ends with Zach saying, "If this video gets 10,000 likes, then we will make a second episode where we truly discover who is the suspect." Huh. Well, seems to us that you're probably the suspect, Zach.
Yeah.
And you were just waiting to see if this would all blow over and that you wouldn't be prosecuted with any kind of crime.
Yeah.
And the good news for Zach Levet is that his experience as a cross-country runner,
he can escape any crime scene.
absolutely.
He's a very fast boy.
He might not be the fastest, but he has the endurance that
Right.
will allow him to outrun any police officer.
Yeah, that's the one thing that separates mankind at its peak performance from the rest of the animal kingdom, is long distance running. And when you are really good at long distance running, you can outrun anything,
Yes.
including the police.
That's why cheetahs didn't pull the wagons across the West.
No.
It was horses and oxes. They had endurance.
Oh, also adding to our suspicions is the fact that Zach Levitt's recent videos have been mostly about his new cargo van, which he is converting into a mobile home so he can live, train, and vlog anywhere he wants. It's a big van with lots and lots of room in it. He does plan on living in it. Now, you might even say it's big enough to hold 52 televisions.
He has access to transport.
So you got the van, the location, the vlogging, and it all adds up to an inside job. Wake up, people. Except, hold on, we did forget that the same thing happened a year ago before Zach had the van. He also didn't vlog about it when it happened last time, just a few blocks away from where he lived.
Well, the problem
So,
with that theory, though, Elliot, allow me to elaborate,
Okay.
is that he did this once as a goof, as a gaffe, and he didn't realize that he would be able to monetize it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
We're doing it again.
But we have to give enough time to pass that we're not
Yeah.
implicated in the first one.
Yeah, I mean, wait for everything to cool down.
I think it's Zach.
I'm leaning towards Zach as well. I mean, he could have done it this time as a copycat. It might be a copycat situation, but then that raises more questions. Who did it the first time? Or did Zach do it both times?
We don't know.
Where did you get the TVs, Zach? Where do you find 72 CRT televisions?
We need to check eBay. Sales results.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, he dropped out of college.
Uh-oh.
He's like training. He wants to be an Olympic athlete. He might have a shot. I don't know.
It
But,
seems like you could do that while going to college, but keep going.
he was a collegiate athlete, and he's like, wait, why am I doing school stuff when I could just be running stuff all the time and vlogging? So he's had a lot more time on his hands lately.
And possibly a lot more TVs on his hands.
And a lot more motivation for wanting his YouTube channel to take off a little more than it already has. Needs to
he's
up
playing
the ante.
He's playing the
stakes.
long con with his YouTube channel. He doesn't want to sprint to viral success. He wants to take a long, arduous path of consistent success to really drive home how great this channel is.
He certainly has stamina.
And then one day he will pass the baton to a younger generation.
I think it was Zach.
Yeah, we think it's Zach.
But in general, we're kind of left with barely any more insight into all of this than what we started with, though it was probably Zach.
It's Zach. I'm not saying it's Zach, but it could be Zach.
Allegedly, it was Zach.
Yeah, we're not cops. We'd have to tell you. That's the rule. But I think it's Zach.
You gonna pin this on him? I'm 19. I got my whole life ahead of me. I'm gonna be Olympian.
Start running, Zach.
Well, let's see how well you do Olympics after you pay a small fee for not recycling the stuff you dumped on people's
You'd be a lot
laws.
better at endurance running if you started out endurance running holding a CRT TV.
It's true. They're very heavy.
It's like how baseball players put those weights on their bats while they're warming up.
No. God, CRTs, like, I forget. Like, my family, like, now you think like a 32-inch screen. It's like, that's big, but not that big. Like, my family had a 32-inch TV in our living room when I was a kid, and that thing weighed probably like 200 pounds. And, like, you know, moving it into the house and moving it out of the house at some point was a major operation.
Our living room
was
TV
dangerous.
that I grew up with was a piece of furniture with wood built around the entire thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's, you don't know how easy you got it.
Yeah,
you
kids these days.
Except Zach. He is intimately aware of
We need
the
to
weight
find
of
out
a
if Zach
CRT TV.
plays Smash or not.
Yeah, and also speaking of endurance, I mean, carrying 52 televisions.
It requires a lot of endurance.
And if you
in
look,
one night?
Yeah, you look at this neighborhood, these are big houses, not close together. Like 52 houses, that's a lot of distance to cover while carrying, between 30 and 60 pounds in each run. You need to be a world-class athlete to pull something like that off.
And if you rearrange the letters in Kris Kringle and Santa Claus, you get CRT. There all of those.
We have a new suspect. Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. It's half Christmas.
Yeah. So, I don't know, will we ever know the truth? Maybe, perhaps not. But there's no reason to think that the guy with the TV for a head won't strike again at some point.
I mean,
when he wants more views for his YouTube channel.
You ask if we will ever know, but has Zach received 10,000 likes?
Not anywhere close to that, unfortunately. He's had some, like, very successful videos. This one is, it's teetering around his average of, like, 30,000
We need to get Zach to 10,000 likes to uncover the truth.
Go to the link down below. Everyone...
you don't even need to watch the video.
Yeah,
just click the like button.
Go to Zach's video, give it a thumbs up, because I do want to know the answer, and I got a good feeling he knows the answer.
But here's the thing. Once he posts the answer and it turns out to be him, you can go back and you can click it again and it takes the like away.
You don't have to then dislike. You can just remove the like.
Can we get this video to 10,000 likes?
Yeah. Let's go for 10,000 likes.
Yeah, that'd be good. Well, moving on, it's time for a word from this week's sponsors before we get into the rest of the video, and that's starting with Expressvpn, a service that we are very thankful for after all of the writing that went into the Epstein Area 51 video.
Yeah, not something you want tied to your IP address.
I just wish I had 7 accounts so I could hide behind 7 proxies. Now, you might be one of those people that thinks cybercrime is something that only happens to other people. You're probably not, though, because you watch this show, you know better. You know that every time you connect to a public Wi-Fi network, you're exposing your data to hackers and crooks. And the government. Your FBI agent is watching. Take action, get ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN secures and anonymizes your internet browsing by encrypting your data and hiding your public IP address. ExpressVPN has easy-to-use apps that run seamlessly in the background of your computer, phone, and tablet.
Turning on ExpressVPN protection only takes one click, boop, and then you're safely using public Wi-Fi without being snooped on or having your personal data stolen, all for less than $7 a month. ExpressVPN is rated the #1 VPN service by TechRadar and comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Protect your online activity today and find out how you can get 3 months free at expressvpn.com/weeklyweird. That's expressvpn.com/weeklyweird for 3 months free with a 1-year package. Go to expressvpn.com/weeklyweird to learn more.
And this episode is also sponsored by DoorDash. Have you had a long day at work, tough day at school, or are you still stuck at the office? Treat yourself to the meal that you deserve on demand from your favorite restaurants. Restaurants will come to you with DoorDash, and ordering is easy. You just use the DoorDash app, you choose what you want to eat, and a Dasher will bring it to you anywhere you are.
On Dasher. Not only is that burger place you love on DoorDash already, but over 310,000 other amazing restaurants are too. DoorDash connects you with door-to-door delivery in over 3,300 cities, all 50 states, and Canada. Order from your local go-tos or choose from your favorite chains like Chipotle, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, and the Cheesecake Factory. I prefer the dine-in experience of cheesecake. Don't worry about dinner. Let dinner come to you with DoorDash.
Right now, our viewers, that's you, can get $5 off your first order with $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter the promo code WeeklyWeird, all one word. That is $5 off your first order when you download the DoorDash app from the App Store and enter promo code WeeklyWeird. Promo code WeeklyWeird, all one word, $5 off your first order from DoorDash. Now, it is time to get into the craziest, weirdest headlines from this week, starting with
Al-Qaeda mocks terror rival ISIS by leaking blooper reel.
Is this blooper reel hosted on LiveLeak or?
I'm not exactly sure how it's hosted. It got into the hands of some journalists who then posted it on like their news websites. It would seem YouTube is not a fan of these sorts of things. But yeah, they're vying for the same land out there.
In my mind,
which gang you gonna join?
And this is going to be very dark, but in my mind, it just, to me, I assume that this is like, you know, ISIS has the GoPros when they're trying to drown people, and like the person gets free from the shackles, and it's like, woo, whoop, and they get up and they start breathing again. Or like they're like tying up like some explosives on a car that's gonna explode, and then it goes boom, and it's like their face is all like blown back, but it's like black soot, and they're like, whoa.
No, it's not like that.
No? They're not putting bananas in tailpipes or...
Yeah, they're like, I'm running into a crowd to blow myself up, and oh, geez, my pants ripped.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
No.
They're like, they're pulling up a giant rock that's going to fall on someone, and then they're like, the American soldier comes through and is like, whoa, and then walks through and he's like, wait, hold on, it didn't go off. And then he sits there and he's like, why isn't the rock moving? And it falls on the ISIS guy, and then he springs up like an accordion and goes, wah, 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 wah. That's not what this is?
No, it's actually pretty tame. Like Al-Qaeda, you should really try harder.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
Quoted 2019.
Not at terrorism. I mean, just like try harder at like making ISIS look bad. Because it was just like, it's like some ISIS recruit doing his initiation and like getting his speech wrong and then being interrupted by a loud, there's like a loud bird nearby, like, caw, and he's like, I have to stop. It's pretty minor shit.
ISIS is live streaming, and they're like, you know, reading the latest whatever they do, and like all of a sudden, oops, we left the cat filter on.
Yeah, like try harder, Al. Nope.
Don't say it.
I'm not gonna say it again.
Don't say it.
But yeah,
you're going into thought jail.
Thought jail.
You and all the Twitch streamers.
The thought patrol's coming around to throw me in thought jail.
Wrong thought. Wrong thought.
But yeah, just kill each other. Take each other out.
Is this you trying to get back at what you said earlier?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Man who got BMW for his birthday pushed it into the river because he wanted a Jaguar. This also happens like once a year, as a lot of these stories do. They keep popping up where it's like some entitled brat gets something for free and is like, either it's the wrong color or in this case, the wrong car.
And it's often in parts of the world where wealth is not common. This is in India, where the average or median, income is a lot lower than what you would need to buy.
Pushed it into the Ganges?
No, not the Ganges. Some other body of water that probably has fewer dead bodies floating
Did he
around
use his turn signal? Because we all know about BMWs and their turn signals.
They don't come with them.
Yeah.
No turn signal.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's going to get the Jaguar now. Probably just going to have no car. So might not have paid off. But he sent a message. The kids got
the Germans?
Moxie. The Germans?
They make BMW, right?
Yeah. No, to his dad.
Yeah. It was about German engineering. Can this German car survive the river?
I don't know why you'd want a Jag. Like, are Jaguars good cars? I thought they had a reputation for being like constantly needing repairs.
Jaguars are for like old rich people, I thought. They've got like the steering wheels that are made out of wood, right?
I mean, that's nice. I like wood.
I think they're for old people.
Yeah, well, I'm never going to own one, so it's like, whatever.
Yeah, this is all pointless to us.
This is pointless speculation.
Yes.
But,
old people own Jaguars.
I mean, maybe he didn't want a BMW because he's like, Dad, I'm not a douchebag. I like using my turn signal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a mean driver. I'm very passive. I let people into my lane when they want to use it.
Jaguar has great turn signal.
Yeah, if I drive this BMW, everyone's going to think I'm a douchebag. I'm actually a really nice guy. So I'm going to push this BMW into the river.
Well, rest in peace.
Did Ohio lawmakers accidentally legalize marijuana? Top law enforcers say yes.
Hey, well, that's cool. Good for them.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way this happened is they legalized hemp individually. And they legally defined hemp as having a certain percentage of THC per plant. Only problem is the police in Ohio have no way of actually testing any cannabis plants for the percentage of marijuana or THC in them.
You gotta do a smell test, see how dank it is.
So, like, this has effectively, until they get better gear, it's effectively made all cannabis legal because they have no way of knowing if what you're smoking is hemp or the bad stuff.
Well, I feel like since we're talking about cops here, and I'm not saying all cops, but since we're talking about cops here, I feel like they do have a litmus test for whether or not that cannabis has THC in it or not. And
Yeah,
it isn't really defined by the chemical makeup of whatever you have in your hand.
The method the police use to figure out whether it has THC in it is to steal it from the evidence room, take it home, bake brownies, eat those brownies with your wife, but eat like 10 each because you don't know anything about what you're doing, and then have a near-death experience where you call 911 and openly wonder whether you're in hell or still alive.
It's a classic viral video that you should check out, but I was going way more dystopian with it, with the fact that they're going to charge minorities.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that will happen.
Yes. Autumn's coming, so of course pumpkin spice spam is too. For the man who has everything.
See, I'm one of the, I actually like Spam. A lot of people don't. I wouldn't eat it every day because you'll get heart disease.
Well, your father served it in Pearl Harbor, correct?
No.
Oh.
No. I didn't try Spam until I was in my 20s because I always assumed it was nasty. And then restaurants started actually like serving it more.
Yeah. I had like a Spam sushi thing in Hawaii when we were there.
Yeah. I've seen it on all sorts of things.
It just tastes like mushy salt.
Yeah, it's just extremely salty,
mush.
Kind of pork-like meat.
It looks like dog food, if it's not sliced. If you just dig it out with a spoon.
Well, yeah, that's disgusting. Yeah. What are you, an animal?
Well, now we got a pumpkin spice version.
Yeah, and like, you know, I don't know. If they're going through all this trouble, I kind of do want to try it. It's probably not good, and I'm not going to try it because it's a Walmart exclusive, and fuck Walmart.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Pumpkin spice spam is what's making mass shooters, not video games.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to contribute to that problem.
Absolutely not. A farm in Florida is growing Longneck avocados that are up to 3 feet long and cost as much as $47 each.
This is so dumb. They are astonishing avocados. They look like squashes. Thing is, though, like,
it's a lot of guac.
People never learn. Big fruits and vegetables do not taste as good as their smaller, more concentrated relatives. Like, if I'm buying a fucking, like, tomato, I'm going to buy one that's extremely red and small and juicy. You get the big one and it's just like, this is water. Tastes like nothing. The same's true of all fruits and vegetables. You want the most compact, concentrated, flavor-filled package.
The farmers of Florida are banking on the hipsters not knowing the difference between a large avocado and a small one when they're eating their avocado toast. They just want to have the avocado toast.
Right.
Yes.
But, I mean, they are big. I'd like to see one with my own eyes, just to be like,
there it is.
That is a big avocado.
Yes.
Damn. They're still not. Nice. They're not as big as the ones. There's this one farm in Hawaii that just started. At one point, they were growing like 20-pound avocados, like the size of pumpkins. Crazy.
The pit has got to be gigantic on that.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I wouldn't want to work on that farm because one of those things is going to fall on your fucking head and kill you.
A delicious thing.
The whole time I was in the Philippines last summer, I was terrified that a coconut was going to fall and kill me.
That happened.
Yeah. They're huge. They're way up there. Gotta be
wear
careful.
A helmet at all times.
Yeah.
Florida man reports handgun stolen during orgy at his home. Just threw that last little bit in there to let you guys know how cool that was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
I'm not just telling you this because I want people to know I fucked.
There's a lot of suspects, and they're very hot. Officer, you could probably start by finding the hottest people in town.
Yeah.
And rounding them up for so I could see and point out the ones that were at my orgy.
And they were all wearing masks, and they were. So I'm gonna need to look at their bodies.
Yes, I need to see.
Let me get a full 360.
Their fannies, their boobies, and their butts, and their pee-pees. And that way I can know which one stole the gun. But I just love it that outside of just a reporting that his handgun was stolen, he just had to put it in there. Yeah. By the way, this happened at an orgy.
Yeah.
And it was a great orgy.
I don't even know why I'm even reporting this. Everyone there was wearing a mask. We didn't know each other. It was all just hands and tongues. And you're probably not going to be able to find anyone. I have no leads for you, but I feel I have to tell you.
Sir,
I'm a guy that fucks.
Are you sure you actually ever owned a handgun, or are you just trying to get the orgy story out in the press?
Nah, I definitely owned a gun.
Okay.
And it was definitely stolen during my fucking sweet orgy where I fucked.
We'll have our top men on it. Great.
Dick Brain elected new leader of UKIP.
Cool.
Or Dick Brain. Dick Brain.
Dick Brain.
Yeah, UKIP. That's their last attempt. Their last strategy was trying to run YouTubers for European Parliament. Mm-hmm. They did Carl Avocados, a couple other people. Paul Joseph Watson did not work out. So that they're scratching that idea, and they're just electing a guy with a funny name.
Cool.
As their new leader, Dick Brain.
Sure.
He's got a dick for a brain. Other dick news, Joe Biden was endorsed by Dick Sweat.
Great.
Dick Sweat.
No, it's a shame Dick Trickle's not around anymore.
Why don't you go by Dick?
Well, when I'm 69 years old, nice, I'll change it.
On the occasion of my 69th birthday, I'd like to formally announce that I'll no longer be Ricky.
I'll be Dick.
I'll be Dick.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, this is not a common name anymore. All you potty brains had to ruin it. All you dick brains had to go and ruin Dick. Mm-hmm. Well, all right.
Yeah. Twitter user Jeffrey R. Epstein explains he's not dead and not the accused sex trafficker. And he works for Disney.
Yeah.
The conspiracy was already probably running like crazy.
Yeah, and it doesn't help, but he's verified because he's some pretty high-ranking executive with Walt Disney Company. And people are so stupid. They're like, oh, Epstein's dead. Let me go find Epstein's Twitter account, which must exist, and make a little fun of him. Mm-hmm. Oh, found him. There he is.
I cracked the case.
Weird. He's been tweeting about Disneyland all week, even though he's been in the special housing unit of prison and then killed himself. Well, time to roast this motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not the same person. So a lot of people have the same names as other people.
Yeah, there's a lot of Jeffrey Epsteins out there. This kind of thing is the main reason I'm actually okay with those weirdo Pinterest moms on the internet giving their kids just psychotic, absurd names.
Oh, if I was,
they'll never get mixed up with a criminal.
If I were them, I would immediately change the spelling of my first name to Geoff.
Joffrey.
Yeah, like Joffrey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy way out. Nobody has to change anything about talking to you, but people aren't going to be able to search and tie you to one of the most prolific and horrible people of modern existence.
It's just not. Yeah, it's a bad situation. Even the last name, I feel like Epstein, you just don't want. We're going over to the Epstein. We're going to drop the kids off over at the Epsteins to be babysat. It's unfortunate for all the Epsteins of the world.
Hitler ruined the name Adolf.
Yeah, and Hitler.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He did it.
He did it.
Bear breaks into house and smashes wall to leave.
Yeah, he can do it. Why not?
Yeah.
I got in here somehow. This is very weird. It's like a forest, but the trees are long and tall and wide. But I am also a bear. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm just going to go through drywall like butter.
I don't think it's that weird. It's just bears doing what bears do.
Bears will be bears.
Yes. Life finds a way outside of your house.
Yeah,
and apparently in.
I love
this is the best case scenario.
Yeah. Yeah, drywall is easier and cheaper to repair than glass.
And no one was eaten.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. True.
Yeah.
Speaking of bears, bear falls on California patrol car causing crash and fire.
Was it in a tree?
It was this is NorCal. They said the bear was on the top of an embankment. And I don't know if he jumped or slipped or what. I don't know.
Cannonball!
Yeah, the bears are getting bold.
Yeah.
But yeah, he landed on the car. Bears are big.
This is what happens when you do a cannonball in front of a bear. They learn. It's like feeding them.
Yeah. The car flipped. It caught on fire.
Well, luckily it didn't spread, right? It wasn't like a huge forest fire because of it?
No, it seems like it was contained.
That's good. They've been cleaning up the brush on the ground, obviously.
Yeah, the cop was on the way to, like, stop a drug overdose. I don't know what happened to that guy.
Dead. It's fucking bear. The bear's the one who had it out for him.
These bears are very mischievous.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do about these bears?
I don't know, but something needs to be done. The Bear Patrol is on the case.
Bear Patrol. And final headline, Amazon says its facial recognition can now identify fear.
Can it see it on my face right now? Because I am scared of this.
Are you sure, Amazon? Because I'm terrified right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is, why? What are you doing? Stop.
For interrogation.
Amazon, like, over the last year or so, has been really leaning into, like, the evil corporation angle.
The supervillain, Jeff Bezos. It seems like it's going more towards that.
Yeah, there's this shit, and this is part of the technology that they've been trying to sell to ICE and law enforcement for a while, to basically turn America into fucking China.
But the problem with this, too, is it's like everyone that has to deal with a police officer or a federal agent is going to be scared.
Yeah. Yeah, there are also those... is it Ring? That's the Amazon one?
Oh, where they have been working with police departments to
and they're
get a surveillance network going?
Yeah, they're trying to
which is owned by Amazon.
Yeah,
Ring is.
And they're trying to incentivize people to report things that happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you see something suspicious happening with your neighbors.
$5 Amazon gift card.
Yeah, no, that's what they're doing. It wouldn't surprise. Actually, new suspect. Amazon wants to sell more Ring cameras. So Jeff Bezos put on his TV mask, and he went to this neighborhood in Virginia and started dropping TVs on there because they've been sitting at the Amazon warehouse for 20 years collecting dust. He doesn't want to recycle them because he fucking hates the earth.
Yeah.
So Jeff Bezos loaded up the Amazon van, and unlike a real Amazon delivery person, he very daintily, gently put the TVs down at everyone's doorstep, made sure to wave to the cameras.
If it's one thing Bezos respects, it's technology.
Yeah, and beep, bop, boop. You got a free advertising for your creepy doorbell cam.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing to know that whenever someone comes to the door from now on, I and everyone else will know if they are scared of coming into my home.
Your guest is exhibiting fear.
Boom!
Yeah,
got him.
Well, anyway, we would have had a lot more to talk about, but on News Dub this week, we actually covered two quite weird stories that you should definitely check out. On the lighter side, Area 51.
It's a rave now.
It's a rave now.
Or a music festival.
It's trying to be.
Yeah.
And on the darker side, Jeffrey Epstein. We did a whole deep dive into that whole thing. It's technically conspiratorial, but it's hard to really not be conspiratorial about this story because it just doesn't add up.
So yeah, check out that video. It's over here somewhere, or you can obviously go to our channel or something like that. And then if you want, we talk further about Jeffrey Epstein on the podcast this week. You can get that by supporting us on the Patreon. Check out all the links below, and we will see you next time. Have a great weekend.
Enjoy.